Surprise!
Wow, it finally has come full circle. You remember what one of our first ever
Don't forget your monthly games, Dwibs.
Ah, yes.
Also, that's
I've
a
already
nice
got
theme.
Yes, it was released on the original release date.
Anyway, welcome to
Before it was a
the
little
demo.
late.
Welcome to the demo for the Final Fantasy VII Remake, released a few days before the game was originally supposed to come out.
Fitting.
Was it like
Hey!
March 2nd that it was supposed to come out or something?
No, I think it was like March
Fifth, I
10?
think it was.
Whatever.
Maybe
It is
check.
March
It's
2nd.
coming out in
Today-
April. It's coming out in April.
Today-
Immediately, the prelude.
Yeah, today is
Thank
March
you.
2nd anyway.
Whether or not
Thank
it's
you for
the
this,
case
by the
for
way.
game itself, I don't know.
Looks
since your head's the
good,
bottom
sounds
left.
good, but let's see if it plays good.
Alright,
Okay,
Dwibs,
thank
I'm
you.
curious, what are you going to do?
Okay, classic is where the characters do all the moving for you and you can just do the menu-based stuff like the original. Easy is when you just want to just have easier battles so you can enjoy the story. And normal has harder battles, but I'm a softie, so I'm going to go easy. So anyway, let's check out the intro.
Now, Square actually has released the official opening, and for this demo it jumps slightly a bit to resemble more the original intro of the game. I don't know if it's gonna be like that for the final product as well.
Oh yeah, the original release date was March 3rd, so yeah, tomorrow it's gonna be a month and
Yeah.
Hi,
please
Aerith.
don't, Aerith, please don't stare at me.
Ah, yes, the
Anyway,
wonders of sewage.
Anyway, one thing I can say in terms of performance of this game, it didn't turn my PS4 completely into an oven. It wasn't good, and it wasn't. The fan wasn't screaming like a banshee. It was just at most about as much as say playing GTA 5 for too long. Rude. Okay. You crushed the flower.
Not the highly rendered flower with all its pixels. Jesus.
Honestly, the flower probably deserved it.
No.
It took us ages to render that thing.
And but yeah, if you have noticed, even with the leitmotif and all, the intro was slightly hijacked by Sephiroth. So
Yeah.
interesting to see what direction we are going with the whole spirits that Eric can see and all.
Yeah, look how big we can make our cities now.
How much we can render this shit.
How wonderful they look before we wreck them.
Yeah, we blow them up.
We spent time on this, we're gonna make you stare at it.
Nomura said it's actually the most difficult game he's worked on, apparently.
This game?
Yay!
Oh yeah, there it is. The game we've been waiting for.
But guys, Persona 5 bonus now.
Alright, so I've been waiting years to do this all over again. Gotta make the entrance just like I did back in 1997. Just gotta
Yeah,
make sure I time
Cloud
this
Base-
right.
Cloud Base basically.
Yes, he has.
All that Mako juices, Dwibs.
He was on a bit of a slump
Injected
during those
directly
Advent
into the
Children
brain.
days, but he's a lot better now.
So he's a drug addict.
No.
I think I
It's like-
mentioned this in the previous trailers, but I like the redesign of the Shinra soldiers. It's much more, even if it's more realistic, it makes sense. It's an attribution for the design, and it's dead.
Wow, that was very quiet.
And is that too?
Well, maybe he's not dead, just knocked out.
Nah, he's just got a really bad stomachache in the morning.
Hey, you free.
So yeah, we have Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse, just like in the original, and
There's
Barret in
Barret.
full Mr. T mode for the English dub.
With
Seriously,
sunglasses now.
I want him to tug my bedsheets and tell me to not do drugs.
Ha!
there's our MC.
I've still got it.
Unfortunately, you can't rename him, so my ideas for his name have gone out the window. But
Oh, you know what I would have named him? Thunderhead. And all
I'd
you,
have named him Moki Dick. But
and all you Team 4-Star fans know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So
Yes.
yeah, basically, this
I
this demo
instructed
is
the
basically.
other two, Jova.
Yeah.
So basically, the demo is going to pretty much teach you the
Oh,
controls.
there you go.
as they
See,
go.
there you go. Turns out they died. It just turned into live stream. There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
See? They don't
So-
die, they just become part of the planet.
It's
It's
okay.
interesting.
Well, that's how it works, Rich.
It's okay.
It's an
though,
interesting way
and-
to incorporate how the enemy disappeared in the original game. But yeah, for this first set of battles, Diablo essentially let you do the entire job because we need to sneak in, which makes sense in Universal. Cloud is literally the muscle of our operation, the one who has to do most of the dirty work.
So I'll just go through how the controls work. Like the screen says, to use your sword, you just press the square button. If you hold it down, you can attack more than one enemy.
Mm-hmm.
I see a
Did you have a-
Punisher mode.
Yeah, we'll get
Cloud
to
has
that.
Cloud has
That's
two
called special
stances.
ability.
Cloud
Yeah.
basically has two that need to switch between two stances. One makes more agile, but doesn't do that much damage. And the other one is more like a tank.
Oh yes, I remember that from Versus 13.
Yeah. Oh, and there's the okay. I'm not going to show off the menu in this demo. Yeah, just pause game for a little bit, but I'll show it off when we get to doing more of it in the
Main
in the
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, to follow up on what Jova just said, yes, for those who are not aware, this game is being developed by Nomura's main team, the same team that made Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and was working on Versus 14 for the longest time before Square finally decided to... Well, basically, Yoshiwada was a terrible president, that's all you need to know. So this is
Aye.
so basically, this is going to be this team's first proper release since 2006, basically.
One
Wow.
cool thing that I don't know if you get the same feeling, Dwibs, but since I played also part of this demo, but basically the last bit where you will see at a con, one thing that at least I felt was the way the hits are registered towards the enemy. It's a bit hard to explain, but basically every hit that Cloud does to an enemy with the Buster Sword, you sort of feel it. There's a rhythm to it. Again, similar to how the first couple Kingdom Hearts behaved, just with a less agile and more with a deep rhythm. Boom,
Like I've said before too, I'm pretty sure this is what they were planning to do with Versus original.
And so begins my own personal headcanon for Cloud, his hatred of boxes.
Oh god, I really don't care for boxes, okay? Let's just say I had a bad experience with them in the past.
So
A
what's
box-
Soldier
a
Boy's
box
deal?
killed
Is he
his
one of
dad.
us now? He's
Yeah,
got balls
it was
this,
during the war.
what was his
Jesse?
name again?
Cloud Strife.
Right.
I'm right here, you know.
Eyes on the
He's a
job,
professional,
Jesse.
Unlike the rest of us,
Thirsty, aren't we?
I'm glad to have him.
Yeah.
This is a one-time gig.
This is sexual
Go on,
harassment, and I
say
don't
it,
know
Cloud.
to
You
take
know
it.
you want to say it.
I guess. This bit was slightly changed. If you remember, one of the first player, Wedge said something different to Cloud, but he doesn't say it here.
In the original, he just says, "Oh no."
You want to save the planet the same as us, and he goes like, not interested. His
Yeah.
catchphrase.
Come on, Cloud. You know you want to say it eventually.
Jesse.
We're done here.
Or even the
Yeah,
same.
good idea, Cloud. Just walk away. And,
It's better at this
Yeah, not interested.
By the way, Barret doesn't give an absolute shit about Cloud, at least for now. Just letting you know.
Kudos.
Come on, nobody do something this crazy just for money. They may not think you're a true believer, but you know what I think?
Not interested.
There we go.
Poor Wedge.
Sorry.
Bless him,
uh,
he's trying.
Yeah. Try a bit later. Maybe you'll get a response out of him then.
Wedge.
Yeah, come on, mate, hurry up.
You better be worth the money, Merc. Every last gill.
Oh,
By the way,
those two are gonna make
they're
such a
actually
great
pronouncing
couple
Gil
later.
like in the original game without the U. Interesting attention to detail.
I don't
you
like you, and I don't like your face.
Oh no, this is going
And
to. Did you notice?
static shot.
Yes, cover shot. Well,
They
there's
just-
a
they
lot
just
of
switched
attention to
it.
detail too. Did you notice how Barret climbed stairs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even when Cloud has to jump, you will see later in the Mako Reactor.
And yeah, like
Oh snap! Guard dogs!
yeah, like 15, you can lock onto enemies with this. You just press, I think it's the L3 button. It said.
Well,
Yeah, R3, I think.
well, that's just standard action RPGs.
Yeah, pretty much since Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, that it become also a standard. It just switches the different button that you use. Usually it's either like in R1 or in this case R3.
Hey, look, I just want to let you know it's not
Don't
animal
roast the
cruelty.
dog, bro.
Just want to let you know
He was
it's not
attacking.
exactly.
He was attacking.
Oh, you didn't trigger. Basically, when you tried the demo, I killed the dog first, and at that point, the soldier Shino soldier actually panicked, and Cloud said, "You're the next." There's not, believe me, if this and the demos when they show anything to go by, there's a lot of banter mid-combat, which is waiting to be seen.
I did a playthrough of this before I recorded, and yeah, I think I got that too.
Oh, you're gonna keep using the thing on top. I usually prefer using the minimap.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't too bad.
I'm more used to minimaps myself when it comes to these games. So.
Yeah, boxes.
Well, there is a lot of helpful stuff inside of them.
Yep.
Even just useless boxes. Cloud will slice them.
I'm sure somebody else would appreciate them, but they're not here.
So fast. We've got company.
Thanks, Biggs.
Well, oh god, another guard dog.
Just pet him, it's fine.
Roy, I think we'd have better luck with a zombie Cerberus than that dog with how it's looking.
Yeah. And while if you look at the top left, yeah, see what flashes when I press it. You can tell how much I love the square button.
Here we go. Also, again, the score, amazing.
Definitely.
Yeah, the score for this game was done by 3 people. Mako Reactor, coming back from the original, Masashi Hamazu, who worked with him in 10 and did his own score for 13 and was a co-composer for the other 2 games in that trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And
World of Final Fantasy.
I keep forgetting the third one.
Amaz also composed World of Final Fantasy.
And Mobius. Yeah. And yeah, the third person is basically Amazu's second in command. Basically, Toriyama brought the people from this team.
It works out.
I prefer Amazu more as a remixer rather than an original composer.
Yeah. Oh, and
I mean, I'll give him credit. I mean, 10 was a pretty good soundtrack.
Oh, and by the way, this is the last we'll see of
Wedge.
The big one, Wedge in this demo.
Yeah, let's milk those overlaying shots.
Soldiers may attack on command, but I hear they make good guard dogs too. Bet you seen a few reactors.
Oh god. I'll save that for some backstory later.
Mako storage. Ain't holding out on me, are you?
I'm thinking.
Damn scared to bite the hand that fed him? Or is he a loyal little doggy?
Yeah, don't provoke him. You're triggering PTSD.
We can do this with you, or we can do this without
you. Yeah, it's the word doggy.
Different layout.
His head
depends on how it was built.
I wonder.
Never seen one like this, but I'll manage.
All right, let's have a little brief chat with our squad mates. Squad.
I'm watching you.
Okay then.
I love
what
you
about
too.
You, Jesse?
Don't you worry. Biggs will have the door open soon.
I forgot actually who voices Jesse, but I recognize that voice. Oh yeah, that definitely recognizes.
Yes, AKA Futaba from Persona 5.
Ha.
The only RPG that ever existed.
It's over.
Okay, gotta give credit. The Shira soldier are extremely confident so far.
Well, it's 4-on-1.
Anyway, now we're gonna see Punisher mode in action.
Okay.
Basically, with Punisher mode, you won't be able to dodge properly against attacks or magic, but you do get stronger attacks in return.
Yeah.
Also, a remix of the battle theme.
Oh, expect those a lot. Basically,
in a battle.
I listened to basically when the demo was first leaked, quote unquote. It was data mined and people got a lot of tracks from it, and it wasn't even the full soundtrack, mind you. There's like a jillion remixes just from the battle theme and the boss theme, which are probably going to be sprinkled out depending on the situation.
Okay. Screw you.
Look, I just have to be extra
Gonna
thorough.
need to show those particle effects.
Look. Basically what happened was my dad was in the war, but then he got killed by a soldier who was hiding in a cardboard box.
Someone who can get us the passcodes.
And ever since then,
no
Cloud,
one else
every
at
time
command will
Cloud
talk to
sees
us,
a
but
box,
what
even
can you
if
do?
it clearly belongs to someone else,
Then we're good.
he will slice it.
Especially if it's a cardboard
Careful in
one. You
there.
have to be extra careful around those.
Yeah.
God help me if I ever find the soldier who hid in that cardboard box, or meet him in a crossover of any kind.
But Cloud, what if Tifa was inside the box? What would you do then?
Try settling it in Smash, Cloud.
Well, what are the chances I'll run into him there?
We're gonna get tighter, so be ready. We can't afford any more mistakes.
Okay.
Looks like the elevator's on another floor. Mind pushing that button?
You push the button.
And thankfully you don't have to slam your fist this time.
So,
But that's
you know
more fun.
Tifa, right?
Oh boy, time for
business,
odd
but
questions,
are you guys
Shirai.
close?
Elevator.
Like you yourself said, Jess, it's none of your business.
Not just that, you can see Cloud aggressively pushes the button elevator.
Yeah, it's like, come on.
Come on,
Saved by the elevator, though.
I do love this upcoming interaction.
Oh, yeah.
Between Barret and Cloud, though.
But first,
Well,
a
first,
sneak
you got the
peek,
meat.
and something actually that I wasn't expecting. Just
Hey,
pay attention to
Heidegger.
what Heidegger is gonna say to President Shinra.
These sewer rats appear to call themselves Avalanche, sir.
Is that Travis William playing
We
him?
are
don't know.
currently investigating whether they belong to the same group
Yeah,
that made the attempt on
apparently
your life.
Before Crisis is canon with this.
Rest assured,
Ooh.
It's a bit odd considering barely anyone knows about this plot, so
you know.
interesting for the team to drop the ball like this.
You know what,
Hold on,
with
just listen because Barret has a
Why
speech
you
for
eat
this,
while you
actually.
shit? It's here sucking up Mako. It doesn't rest and it doesn't care. You do realize what Mako is, don't you?
Oh.
Mako is the lifeblood of our world.
Yeah, look how Cloud is invested.
Green, like you and me bleed red. The hell you think's
She's
gonna
just
happen
standing
when
there
it's
like
all
he's
gone,
given
huh?
this speech so many
Answer me.
times.
I just come for the paycheck.
You gonna stand there and
No, that's
pretend
Cloud.
you can't
I
hear the
love
player
this bit
crying
Cloud
out in
says.
vain?
Yeah.
I know you can.
You really hear that?
Yes. Cool.
Damn straight I do.
Get help.
Oh.
Say that again.
Oh, I think he didn't take that lightly.
No. It'll break
I'd
you,
worry less
Jesus.
about the planet and more about the next 5 seconds. Save the screaming for later.
Well, he's not
Yeah,
wrong.
I mean, what good are you gonna do to help save the planet if you're dead?
Also, it is nice that they subtitle each location you go to.
Our lives are on the line.
Oh, remember,
now.
Jova. It's like that in the Kingdom Hearts games as well, where every time you enter an area, the text shows what area it is.
One false move. And that happens.
Well, so much for having Cloud do all the fighting.
Hey,
There are
more
some
workload
places a
off for
sword just
me.
can't reach.
This is the game telling you how to strategize using your party members.
Bear with
Yep,
me.
that's
yeah, because
right.
in this game you can in this one on Life 15 you can actually control the other party.
But at
during
least at
battle.
launch.
Well,
Dwibs,
this is
remember.
another throwback to Versus 13, where originally you were going to be able to switch party members on the fly.
Yeah, in Versus 13 was gonna have that feature from the beginning.
From what
Yeah.
I've heard, this game does
pretty-
even better than
pretty
Versus
obvious.
13, though.
It's pretty obvious. Well, Jova, we never truly saw Versus 14 in its finished state, so we can never tell.
Well, I'm going
Um,
strictly off of, what we had so far, what was played demo-wise or shown.
True, but without the natural proper finish, still, a lot can change between those.
And now,
Well, it goes without saying I'm going
in a
off of
similar
what we
fashion
saw.
to Kingdom Hearts, we get a battle theme that is a battle theme remix of the Mako Reactor theme.
Yeah.
Nothing on me.
So basically, some
guess
areas
that's
will
how-
have unique battle themes.
I guess that's how Nomura prefers his battle themes, maybe.
What?
But that's the
But
thing.
depending on the location.
Believe me, once again, I watched some other demos potential that I'll mention a bit later, and I also listened to some of the leaked soundtrack. The soundtrack, at least from what I listened so far, is pretty much anything you can expect.
Well, it is
I
nice.
remember you bastards.
Oh, you guys again.
This time though, you could actually move about and reckon with your own will rather than just pressing buttons.
You know,
On the menu.
it's been over 20 years, and yet something about the seal's different still.
Oh boy. These sections always make me nervous. Basically, you have to memorize the pattern of these grids and go for it while it's down. If you get hit, you die, but you lose a bit of health.
Shinra security is quite interesting with that. I'd hate to be an unlucky employee who forgets the pattern.
It's Shinra Drova, very expendables.
Damn.
And also you can dash.
Makes you wonder which is the worst company, Shinra or Umbrella.
Well,
I
Shinra didn't cause a plague, so...
Not just that, well, they sort of did, Dwibs. It's a bit different. Shinra deals only with radiation, Umbrella with biochemicals.
Wasn't that technically Genesis's fault?
I'm trying to hoping that's not kept as canon.
No, I forgot that part of it.
Oh yeah, basically that, for those who don't know, everything that goes wrong in 7, you can blame on Genesis.
Yeah, this Crisis Core cannibalized everything and said, yeah, Genesis was here too.
Although I'm not sure if it'll be the same for this
remake. Because someone in the team had a low passion for Gact.
I mean, Tio, okay, if Before Crisis is canon, who's to
That's
say...
the thing. That again is something that baffles me a bit because Before Crisis Manual doesn't have a super complex story.
Come on, Dwibsy.
But all of the people have played it, even in Japan when it came out, because it was an episodic release on a mobile cell phone, old school mobile cell phones.
And again, don't forget it was Japanese exclusive.
It got a French translation, but only very recently. Before that, people knew the story thanks to rumors on the internet on what it was about. Again, it's nothing super complex.
Isn't it like a PC fan remake of the whole thing?
Sorta. It's basically a slightly upscaled version
hang on, guys. Hang on. Oh, there you go.
Good. There wasn't any soldiers hiding in those cardboard boxes.
Or any of your friends. Oh, friend.
Please.
Also, the detail that you may notice is that both were Barret and Cloud. The sweeper.
Oh, it's you again.
Yeah, these things can take a beating unless you use your fire magic, as I'll demonstrate soon. But first, Cloud's box sensors are tingling.
Well, actually, Dwibs, against machine monsters, the thunder magic is the best way to go.
Yeah, which... Actually, that's another good point. Unlike in the original, the materials right now are distributed in a different way. Cloud is only fire, while Barret is both thunder and cure.
Maybe we'll get more in the full game.
No, that's what I mean. In the original beginning section, in the original game, Barret had no materia, and Cloud only had blizzard and thunder.
Yeah, like it says there, if you manage to hit it a certain way, the enemy will be staggered, and that'll give you more of a chance to take it down.
Yeah, the stagger gauge is back with a vengeance from 13, but thanks to the more action-based, it's more manageable.
It's an Tale, I can
tell you. Literally staggers.
The stagger in this game works much more like the Lightning Return stagger way, rather than the stagger gauge from the first 13 games. It's more, just beat the crap out of it and it will get staggered eventually. It just works like that.
Since it's a robot, it's like that quote from DBZ Bridge. I figured it out. We just need to hit them really, really hard.
Repeat.
I got a Phoenix down.
Those will come in handy.
Oh, no, actually, this...
Staggering is more about exploiting the enemy's weak point rather than...
Though for all I know, a soldier's rank could be the same as his age.
Oh, you have no idea.
That make you a 1-year-old?
Yeah, Cloud's not gonna take any more.
Yeah, hanging on the edge of tomorrow, bud.
And twice.
Such great physics on that.
Yeah. I hate piles of boxes.
Thanks to the Unreal Engine.
Got a lot using that these days, don't we?
That's gonna be
There we go. The demo that I actually played most of the con started right here.
Yeah, basically like in the original game,
the reactor core.
And also like in the original game, you can choose how long you want to set it off.
Oh, if I believe correctly, we're about to get an interesting line from Jessica soon.
Jesse. Well, it may
Well,
be a diminutive,
Jessie
but
tends
they
to be
never call her with a full name, so...
Jessie tends to be short for Jessica. But yeah, if I recall correctly, we are about to get a special line from her soon.
Yeah, as soon as we catch up to it.
Maybe you need to work out more.
More like excited. I've been dreaming about this for years.
Oh, Barret. Sooner or later, Barret, this is going to pale in comparison to what you'll accomplish.
Good luck. Aw, you're choosing me over the reactor?
What?
That's sweet, but I'll wait my turn.
That's what she literally just said.
If you don't know the behind-the-scenes feature, apparently Jesse's facial design, it was drawn by Roberto Ferrari, was inspired by his actual wife or girlfriend, but still, his love interest.
So she is someone's waifu.
Yeah, I wonder what that tells.
Oh my, is that what he tells her
I
in
like
bed?
her all the lightning, at least.
Remember, Terry, in order to be a Square Enix employee, you have to have a wife.
Don't overdo it.
Okay.
What's Nomura's wife, I wonder?
Oh,
doesn't have a wife because he's
Scared of a woman, of course.
Oh, okay. I will say this.
Okay, so here's a theory. Nomura had a very, very bad high school breakup, and he swore his life off women forever.
So he's an incel.
Yeah.
Bad joke. My bad. Whatever. Let me talk instead something different to deflate the tension. You may notice the enemy types. We have the Monodrive, the Shinra soldiers, and the Sweeper. If you don't remember, the original game also had an enemy type around before you get down to the reactor that you had to fight. The robots, I think the Cloud called them the Roboguards, I forgot what is the original name. Basically, these guys in a blue suit with a helmet and some spiky hands. You may have not noticed them, and all the trailers and our demos did not show them. They just say that this remake does something similar to what the Resident Evil remake on the GameCube did. But for now...
Anyway, bomb time.
It's too easy.
All right, let's see if little Stamp really can bite the hand that feeds.
Pocket bomb.
Do the honors. Prove to me you're the man Tifa says you are.
Oh, you're going there, aren't you?
Never said I was. I'm just here for the paycheck.
Then do the damn job.
Yeah, I'm with Barret on this one. Stop having your sword up your ass.
Okay, Cloud. It's like, okay, Cloud, we get it. You're cool and awesome. No need to verbally jive us with that.
Okay, 20 or 30. What am I going to do?
Ow. Sorry, Dwibs, we need a PTSD episode first. Oh.
A feather.
Oh.
Black feathers? No.
Oh, dear.
Not a good sign.
Oh, we're getting those signs earlier on in the game this time.
In the original game, you should remember, Cloud did had a PTSD where General Bat told him in his head, this is not just a normal reactor.
20 or 30?
From experience, I can tell you can easily do with 20 even on normal mode.
I'm going to go 30.
So do they give you a reward in this version if you go for 20?
I don't know. In the full game, but not for this demo.
And honestly, Joe, I prefer having more time apparently double cross.
Okay.
Giant Mecha Scorpion.
The giant mechanical scorpion.
But the internals can be overloaded.
Yeah, and this battle, okay, maybe it was probably cursed for recording curse, but I had a bit of a harder time with this battle when I recorded this compared to when I first did it, and it was on the same difficulty mode.
Just remember, Dwibs, lightning magic is the key.
Well, I like fire better.
Lightning is literally the robot's weakness, though.
Dwibs, you're a Pokemon fan. You should understand the concept of using the effective attacks.
Also, while this
Maybe
version
he's going by the logic of the anime writers.
also, while this version of the boss theme lacks the it lacks the rock element that I was hoping for. It is a pretty good remix.
You're in for a treat, Java, because there's a demo that was shown, I think, at TGS last, but still, there was like a Japanese demo that showcases that the battle against the Airbuster, the second boss that the original game had, and that one is actually a more metal remix of those who fight further.
Oh, let me guess, Black Mages.
I'll give you a link after we're done.
And yeah, basically what's happening is I forgot which button was the
You know what'd be funny is if they use the Black Mages remix of those who fight further. That remix is awesome.
Yeah, and yeah, just like in the I've forgotten if this was in the original game, but the maximum effect just slashes off.
Oh,
yeah.
no, the berry is a totally new thing.
Okay. This being more of an action RPG does allow for a lot more movement among the boxes here. That's not to say the original 7 was not an awesome game already, but here you get all the more action with the bosses and all the more stuff to move around. Sure, more people who prefer the more turn-based element may be a bit disappointed, but if I recall correctly...
Oh shit, Dwibs, you have to do something.
Oh shit, I got caught. But not to worry, I shall switch to Barret. He'll save the day.
There we go.
But yeah, from what I recall, classic mode apparently is more turn-based, is it?
No, it's literally the game auto playing it for you.
Basically, what happens is, Jova, if you put in classic mode, Cloud and whoever you're controlling will just attack and evade and defend on his own. And what you do is you control the command menu and change whatever skills he does as he does. So basically,
oh, so that sounds like Yokai Watch.
Yeah, it works kind of like the 3DS Yokai Watch games. Yes, basically.
But I prefer actually doing most of the stuff myself. So.
Yeah, as someone who normally likes turn-based combat, I actually agree with Dwibs.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the classic mode was put in there to quell the turn-based crowd.
Definitely. And it makes sense, you know, 7 was technically not completely turn-based. It was more like real-time strategy turn-based of sorts. You know,
technically that began with 4, but a bit of the ATV system, but yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Also,
Watch out! He's up to something!
You may notice that also from the first time they showcased the boss fight, but I can confirm some of the boss tracks are dynamic. They will switch depending on the phase of the boss. 15 already had employed this. It's nice that they brought it back.
Wow, this debris is amazingly strong to withstand that!
Yeah,
there we go.
And with absolutely no damage to Cloud or Barret.
Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, all you gotta do is just hide behind, and it just makes it pop away.
Yes. Make a return.
Hello, Cross/Slash. I love using you to victory in Smash Bros. Ultimate.
It's interesting how some of the limit breaks have been reincorporated into normal attacks like Cloud's Braver, but others instead have remained stable limit breaks like Cross/Slash.
Ah, good. They're just as cinematic as I remember them.
Memorize the attack patterns.
You know,
attack patterns are wussies.
You know, it feels so weird. When I first commented on the original 7, I was but a novice when it comes to Final Fantasy lore. Now coming back to the remake, I know plenty of the ins and outs of this franchise, and I have Tio and Pedro to thank for that.
Although, funny from my perspective though, I've been using the look breaks more in 14 than anything else, well, there you are.
That's more because of the nature of an MMO.
Oh god.
Speaking of which, now the fight turns like in an MMO. You need to slash at the leg first, so it will collapse on itself and will stop healing, so it will give you a chance to pummel it.
I'll give this android credit. It puts up a much more dignified fight than he did in the original.
I forgot which of the... I think it's Heidegger responsible for the robotics. There we go. But yeah, I guess it did a good job for it.
Oh, and I defeated it.
Wait. Hold on.
No, it says Scorpion said we defeated.
We already did the watch out is up to something, Java.
Down you go.
Shit.
Well cried. Thanks. That kind of helps with our job. Oh, snap. This is rated T, right?
I don't.
Java already dropped several swears previously.
Oh, I know. But basically, too,
Mako will take care of him.
in T-rated stuff, the S word and the T and the F word are limited.
Also, I'm not shown. Okay,
Come on,
from
we gotta move.
it's not in this playthrough, but when I played the demo the first time round, sometimes when you win a battle, Barret does the Final Fantasy victory theme.
Yes, I
Wait,
noticed
what?
that
As
too.
in he hums it?
Yeah, it's something that they took from Final Fantasy 15, because in 15 Prompto also did that.
Also,
This one, Barret does it.
Barret, could you move up? My head was literally up your ass there for a bit.
Those boxes get
I
back
actually like that the game allows you to clip through them, because it allows me to get there quicker.
Oh, I know. It's just so funny to look
And
at.
hey, if you think of it lovely, it's like the original game where the characters just go inside your interdimensional pocket when you move again.
Pretty much.
You know, I
It's
gotta
like the
say,
warp zone
it was
now.
very nice of the
Yeah.
bomb to not start until after we started leaving and not while we were fighting the boss.
And now you're getting a super cool action version of a Mako Reactor. Actually, it's the bombing mission still, but still like a more frantic symbolizing the nature.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that the soundtrack has a lot more of a
Come on,
budget,
Jesse.
which allows Nobuo Matsu
Oh,
to...
shit.
Oh, crap.
And it's nice how the timer stops when you're in a cutscene.
Okay,
Come
just
on.
gotta shimmy over.
Shouldn't take long.
How to save the
Then there
day.
you go.
Oh,
Do I look okay? Hello, would you?
why do I get the feeling I'm gonna be helping out redheads a lot more in my career lately?
My hero.
Hey,
Well, I wouldn't
we'll
say
link up over there.
redheads,
Look after
more like
Jesse.
black-haired people, but yeah, sure.
Come this
You know-
way.
Yes.
Well,
Who's looking after who again?
Probably.
right. Also, Dwibs, have you seriously forgotten who else Cloud's gonna have to end up helping throughout in this game?
Well, remember, Shiro, Cloud was hired to protect them and kill all the enemies for them, so
Yeah.
that's kind of his job.
Yeah.
I was mostly referring to about her running ahead.
But I wanted that box over there. Alright, fine, Jesse, I'll follow you. And Cloud, stop looking up.
Hey, I am hurrying for my
that's,
life here, okay?
No, Dwibs, it's Final Fantasy 9 that has that joke.
Yep.
Focused. I'll freak out if I don't.
Notice Barret climbing
yeah,
in the background.
Yep.
Notice
Jesse's
Barret
like-
climbing in the background. That's
And Jesse's-
that's a detail that it didn't even that's far away, but they bothered with it.
And Jessie in this game is like Spider-Man, where she keeps talking aloud when she's freaking out.
You know, it's so nice that they're getting us to know Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge, knowing that they're probably going to mercilessly kill them before our eyes. That'll make us cry even more when they expire. Unless they somehow survive in the remake. I mean, given how Brad may or may not be
Barret,
living
we've got
in the remake of 3 and Resident Evil,
Barret.
who knows?
Barret, we've got under half an hour. We'll have plenty of time.
Still, though, just to be safe, let's take a bit of a victory sprint, everyone.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Another bloody one. Not to worry, we have experience on our
Look,
side
I
now.
just took on a scorpion. I am not dying today.
Yeah. Burn, you metal thing.
You're staggered.
Again.
You're done.
Again, considering they most likely took a lot of what they were doing in Versus, the way Barret plays mostly is a lot how Prompto was going to play in Versus,
Yeah.
most likely originally. Whereas Cloud is basically Noctis except without the
Oh, maybe a bit
teleporting
more
power.
like Gladius.
I'd say he's
Gladius.
more like Gladius, considering the
Yeah, I
kind of
guess,
weapon
yeah,
he's
true.
got.
True, yeah,
Cloud,
more like Gladius, yeah.
Cloud, I understand your hatred of boxes, but now's not the time.
Hey, look, you can never be too careful, okay?
And oh,
Oh, yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Not bad.
oh, I think it's on the upper floor.
You know, if there's one thing I do like about remakes, it's when composers who come back decide to go, okay, you know what? I ended up doing really good with this soundtrack. Now let's ramp it up
And
to a
there's
level.
also here we are. There's the RoboGuard. Basically, in Resident Evil, there's an iconic scene where dogs jump into a window while traversing part of the Spencer Mansion. The remake doesn't do that the first time you go there. So instead, it blindsides you the way when you're actually going on your way back and you're not expecting them to show up.
Yeah.
So again, it kind of does the same thing. They actually kept hidden this enemy type for the remake until now.
Yeah, for a base that's about to explode, you guys are putting up one hell of a fight.
Well,
again, gotta give the Shinra troopers commitment. I guess the paycheck is really good.
Imagine.
You're a constant risk of death.
You know, it's a shame that their training doesn't prepare them for a giant Buster Blade wielding blonde and a black man with a gun attached to his hand. I do like the enemy variety with stuff like the more ranged enemies, though. Again, definitely one of the benefits of this being more action RPG-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it unsafe to use a lift at the time like this?
Well, screw safety regulations.
I don't think they care.
Well, as far as we know, it's the best way up. Also,
hold on, wait for it. The demo is another surprise for you.
Oh.
The bomb did jack shit, actually.
Oh, snap.
So what's gonna happen?
They're gonna destroy the thing themselves.
Now, this is actually quite ingenious. The original game had some hints that this may have happened because Jesse at some point says something like, my experience with fabricating bombs is, I'm still inexperienced. I'm glad that it actually worked. But here instead it's used as a propaganda excuse. Shinra is deliberately doing this so then later they can sabotage Avalanche and pin the blame on them, saying, see, these are the bad guys that did this to us.
Which is ironic, considering as how they were going to do that anyway.
It's another showcase how ruthless the corporation is and will do anything trying to stop it, even the more insane things.
I do like this subtle moment, though.
Yeah.
Where Barret actually takes a cue from Cloud. Yeah, maybe I should just calm down.
Not quite out yet, though. No, Jesse, there.
And now the camera starts to shake.
Fun fact, you can actually turn that shake in the options. I did notice while checking the camera options, I noticed that there's a shake up on and off option that allows it to turn off the shaky camera on stuff like this.
Boy, not for nothing, Jess. You have a tendency of having rubble falling on top of you.
Oh shit.
Speaking of.
Well, crud.
Not to worry, Cloud is Spider-Man.
It's a good thing Cloud will never have to fall after a Mako Reactor ever again.
Well, people who know Final Fantasy VII story know that Cloud is more than, it's not just a typical dude. So.
And there you go. With that, the destruction of the Mako Reactor #1 is complete.
And much as it goes back to life.
With their own casualties that eventually will bite Barret in the ass.
This is actually a nice...
That's a story for another time.
This is actually a nice detail to add, though. It's like, well, it does one thing. We never actually did see the consequences this had on the street.
And in the demo is technically over. We get a trailer for the main game with some sequences of what happens immediately after. Basically, again, the team reconvening, then separating, eventually Cloud find Aerith, and then he can fight on his own.
Yeah. Hello, Aerith. You're looking very
with another remix of a battle theme.
Wait, she just leaves me there to be gunned down by soldiers.
And the new enemy type. And the new enemy type, a shield blocker with an electric baton.
Hey, guys. Hey, Aerith, you're looking very sharp today.
You're funny.
Don't joke too much, Dwibs. You're the one who plays her, remember?
Well, I mean, I have to voice her in this game, so because they're already voiced.
Unless they have any of those special extra side quests that they don't voice.
Before we go, one more decision for me to make. Which copy do I buy?
Oh, cute.
It's a twist, Dwibs. You already pre-ordered the game. There's no tension in this.
Yeah, I've already got the 2 Blu-ray disc version. Thank you very much. So that was the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo. What are your thoughts, guys? Let's start with Tio, who did our original playthrough.
Again, completely solid. That was already sold previously, but like I said, to me there hasn't been a single bad trailer or showcase of the game until this point, and I found it astounding how we managed to perform this. Sure, you can say that it may be slightly rough around the edges, but honestly, to me, it's perfectly fine. The way characters control, the way gameplay works, the switching between the characters again, the enemy type, the surprises that the game offers both for newcomers and veterans alike, all the recalls, the references, events, stuff like that. Again, it keeps. It's a fresh experience for newcomers that want to enjoy just an action game, but it brings the mystery element of what is new to see and how the story is going to be altered for the veterans like me. And I'm definitely curious about it. So we'll see around a month time, hopefully.
All right, Pedro.
Oh, I love it. Like, I'm absolutely psyched to play this one because I really like what they've been doing with this. I've played the demo myself as well, and it's absolutely. I really love how the combat works. It's kind of interesting. It kind of feels like, again, it feels a lot like what probably Versus would have ended up being in a lot. Although Versus was a bit more Kingdom Hearts-esque in the way it was designed. But yeah, though this is definitely looking, this is definitely looking a bit more like a mix of elements of Final Fantasy 15 and Final Fantasy Versus. So I'm looking forward to that. I really hope that that after the remake is done, I really hope that No More and this team get another chance at making an original Final Fantasy, because I still would have liked to see what Versus would have become eventually. So hopefully after this they'll be able to do that.
Well, they would probably be waiting at least 2 years then. Stuart.
That's optimistic.
Oh, it looks like a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. And that's all really I have to say.
Jova?
This is quite possibly some of the most best goodwill I've seen Square procure in a lot of years, and that's definitely saying something. Like Tio said, nothing's really been that wrong about this. Even the complaints I have had will apparently be addressed later, so that's definitely good. I really like the presentation here and there. Yeah, how they add in new story elements, new beats and everything. The cinematics working well while allowing this to still feel like a game. And it definitely feels a lot more engaging here and there. Which is, a few benefits it has with the upgrades in technology here. The soundtrack definitely feels like quite an upgrade here and there. I'm looking forward to hearing the full outbits here and there. Honestly, the only reason I haven't bought this game yet is because I'm still holding to my vow to wait until the inevitable version where all parts of the game are sold together at a proper price here.
That is guaranteed to be released.
Yeah,
seriously.
I mean, we all know that's going to eventually be a thing at some point. So
that's also what I'm doing.
Yep, I am going to hold out for that. Thankfully, I have plenty of other games to keep me busy here and there. But yeah, this demo looks great, and I look forward to once again portraying Cloud for the channel again, even if it is just mainly, free-range dialogue.
Yeah. Honestly, Joe, I'm kind of thinking that for the side quest, there's not going to be that much voice acting, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And also, Joe, what you just said, Jova, I too have other games I'm playing as well, but I'm recording this one too.
Well, yeah, of course. You've always...
it's going to be my wallet's going to be crying during the course of about the 2 weeks or so, between the release of Persona 5 Royal and this game.
Well, at least you're not also getting the Resident Evil 3 remake as
or
well.
Doom Eternal.
Yeah, I'm gonna save those for another time. But anyway, as for my thoughts, actually, I'm really really enjoying the gameplay of this game. It's very well. I mean, it's responsive, so that's a good thing. And I like all the different stuff you can do. One thing I do appreciate as well is that when you're going through the menu, the game slows down quite a bit, so it will give you more time to actually do the stuff you want to do. as opposed to some other games that do this, where they keep the action going while you're going through the menus. I'm like, I need time.
Final Fantasy XII had the two settings. Either the game stopped completely while you were selecting the choice, or it moved at normal speed. So this is actually a compromise.
Yeah. And yeah, I do enjoy the little bits of dialogue between the characters, well mainly between Barret and Cloud. Although Jesse does have a few good lines as well.
I mean, the dialogue between Barret and Cloud is as good. Just wait until we have the full party set.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, for Yuffie won't be until I think at least the second game, and Paul Sid too.
Well, yeah, Vince as well.
Yeah, and Red 13, although
well, we know Red 13's going to be there at some point, though. Kate Sith will probably have to wait for the second game as well.
Although from what Katazi, I think he said in an interview, said unfortunately you won't get to play as Red 13 because apparently by the time he appears, it will be so late in the game that it will be kind of pointless.
Well, yeah, by the time Red 13 shows up, we're almost done with the Midgard part, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so yeah, overall, I really had a fun time with this one, and I enjoyed the music too. So, that was the demo for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Join us next time for when I finally go through the full game.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, well, episode 1. I mean, it'll be a long game anyway. So
this will officially be our longest ever commentary to finish.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Episode 1. Cue the Star Wars theme.
Yeah. So see you for part 1 of the remake.
See you then.
Bye.